Hello, welcome to the Aid Station Captain's Comms training for the High Lonesome 100. I'm John Eisen, the Communications Director for the High Lonesome 100. In this video, we'll go over your responsibilities, equipment overview, communication protocols, runner tracking, drop forms, and emergency situations. Your responsibilities as an Aid Station Captain for communications are to pick up and return equipment, set up internet connectivity, check in with Comms HQ, fill out drop forms, communicate in emergencies, and finally, it is absolutely your responsibility to make sure your aid station does not close until Comms HQ verifies all runners have come through and okays it direct to you. Let's talk about equipment. You will receive in your comms kit something to provide internet connectivity, such as a Starlink, jetpack, or iPhone, iPads for runner tracking, iPhones or inReaches for emergency communication, a battery, charging cables, cases as necessary, and walkie-talkies for some aid stations to provide walkie-talkie capability out in the wild. Starlinks provide high-speed internet. You literally just set them up and provide them a clear view of the sky. The Wi-Fi will magically turn on, and you can control it with the Starlink app. We have pictured here two Starlinks, the Gen 2 and the Gen 3. I don't know which one you might get on race day. It depends on how we allocate them. For the Gen 2, they're very easy to set up. You just sort of plug them in and then they turn on and then they point to the sky. It's very easy. But to stow them, you need to use the app to tell it, hey, go into stow mode. For the Gen 3, they're very easy to stow. You just fold them up and put them away. But they have to be pointed in the right direction. After you turn it on, pull out the app, go to alignment, and it'll tell you which way to point it. All these need to be plugged into a high power source like a generator or a really big battery, and we'll provide those as necessary on race day. You can use hotspots for moderate speed internet, so we'll provide those for some aid stations where either it's worked really well or if we don't have enough Starlinks to provide you better internet. When you have an iPhone, you just go to the settings and you turn it on. If you have a jetpack, all you do is power it on and it'll provide internet. You can connect to the Wi-Fi. Just make sure to keep them charged, place them up high. And for the iPhones, they sometimes turn off, so you gotta fiddle with them a little bit. Keep them on at all times. Pick up your equipment when you pick up your other aid station supplies. There will be a volunteer there with your comms equipment. Either me or one of our other comms team will be there to give your comms equipment over to you at that time. And when you return all of your equipment, make sure to return your comms equipment kind of separately. Find somebody on the comms team or the aid station volunteer in charge of doing all the gear tracking. Make sure to give them the comms equipment separately so that they can get it to us as quick as possible so that we can inventory it easily at the end of race day. There's going to be more details about your comms kit and what equipment you're getting before the race. I'll send out emails to each aid station and let you know what you're getting, along with any extra instructions. And please ask any questions you have then about the specific equipment you're going to receive. Now let's talk about communication. If you have good internet, like really good hotspot or a Starlink, make sure to use Discord to communicate as much as possible. I'll talk about Discord in a second. If you have lower quality internet, you can use SMS texting or an inReach to communicate to Comms HQ and other directors. Let us know when you're set up and when you're near closing. And honestly, if you have any aid station needs, Comms HQ is manned 24/7 during the race, specifically to distribute information and connect you with a race director or another captain that you might need. Here's Discord. Links will be emailed out before the race multiple times, and all of you as captains and co-captains should join the Freestone Endurance server and hop on before race day. Name yourself with your name and your position during the race. Use general for chatting, DM Comms HQ for anything important, and post some photos and race photos. This helps out with our socials during the race. If we can get photos of the top men and women and some volunteer photos, it works really well. Also, make sure to check your notifications. You don't want to be pinged constantly about a ton of stuff going on in the race that you don't care about, so you can set it to mentions only. Here on the right, if you pause, you can see a really good conversation that happens on the Discord, like directors talking with other directors and captains, filling in where necessary. And this has really empowered us to, have this general chat channel available during the race, as long as we have enough Starlinks out on the course. Let's talk about runner tracking. Here's some of our great volunteers runner tracking. The comms team volunteers should know what to do. Basically, let them do their job. You're there to empower them. Let them go. They're going to use open split time to track runners. It's the #1 priority. Secondary is paper tracking. Set up the volunteers at the entrances and the exits. They should be the first volunteers that runners see when they come in and the last volunteers they see when they exit. For busy aid stations, set up a shouter and multiple trackers to track runners as they come in. The shouter will yell, runner 55, runner 22, runner 175, and the trackers will write them down as fast as they can. And it's really okay to get duplicate times. That's totally fine. So for these busy aid stations like Raspberry 1, Antero, and even sometimes at St. Elmo, it's just important to make sure that you empower the comms team to get their job done well. If internet fails, we resort to secondary runner tracking for major aid stations. This is because for some aid stations, especially like Cottonwood, Hancock, Antero, runner tracking is so important that we need that information during the race live. And essentially, this process boils down to write every runner down and text them manually to Comms HQ using whatever methods they have available, probably in InReach. And if they have to sacrifice something, they're going to sacrifice outbound times in favor of inbound times, because it's really important we record that somebody got to your aid station, and then we can ask you if they left. Drop forms. Let's talk about them. You or your co-captain must fill out the drop forms, not any other volunteer at the aid station. Comms volunteer or another volunteer, when a runner requests a drop, they should bring that runner to you, and then you will fill out this drop form. Here it is pictured. It's not too complicated. You have to remove their bib and pin it to the drop form. We do this because we don't want anybody thinking that they can continue on the course, because they shouldn't. And then if they really want their bib back, they can pick it up from the finish line. Just send them to the comms team at the finish line. Make sure to stick this drop form in the comms binder and then return the binder with your comms kit at the end. Finally, let's talk about emergency situations. You will have an emergency operations protocol in your binder, and Kelsey has done a great job of managing this. So make sure to follow that as the first thing to follow in any emergency. But when possible, please notify Comms HQ. So for some emergencies, like a lost runner, Comms HQ is the first person to notify. But for other emergencies, such as medical emergencies, the first people to notify are going to be the medical team. But it's very important for you or someone you delegate to go and notify Comms HQ, because that information can help us distribute to other directors or other team members that need to come and support, or just support from afar. And Comms HQ is just a vital point to distribute this information. So please let us know if there is an emergency as you can while you handle it. Thank you for watching. Here's a great photo of Caleb. Email comms@freestoneendurance.com with any questions, and I'll see you out on race day.